You are about to see mutilated corpses, burning tank carcasses, and all out mayhem, brought to you by Frontline Fatalities.
What's up, guys, at Game Replays and YouTube? This will be episode 17 of Frontline Fatalities with Fatal Saint and Tommy, but also a very, very special new pilot episode of Expert Insight, a collaborative shoutcast series brought to you exclusively by Game Replays. It's where seasoned shoutcasters from Game Replays will join up with seasoned COH experts, and in this case, it's Seb. What's up, Seb?
Hello guys, thank you for inviting me for this pilot. I hope everything is going to go right.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And what we're gonna do is, well, we're gonna having Seb here, we're gonna be able to take a very analytical approach and look and we can really strip apart what the players are doing, see what they're doing, how they could do it better. Maybe, obviously, these are two very good players that we're gonna be seeing today, DevM and Barton. And I think we're in for a good show. What do you think, Fatal?
Oh yeah, I agree for sure, and especially with Seb's insight, it's gonna be especially interesting to see these two players duke it out on Longray.
Indeed. So without much further ado, let's get into it from the 5-second mark. If we're all synced up there, we can unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Straight off the bat, Barton seems a little bit displeased with his matchup here versus DevM. He wanted Pepsi, apparently.
Well, his name is Go Barton Live. I think Pepsi's name is Go Pepsi Live.
So. Oh yeah, so maybe that's some form of a pun jab at Pepsi, I guess.
Now the first thing we ought to ask you, Seb, is what do you think about numbers of engineers and numbers of pioneers? This is a huge point of contention for lots of players. We've got a 2 engineer start and a 3 pioneer start. What do you make of that?
Well, I have not. I want to introduce. I've not played in a long time, so I'm not really used to what players do, actually. But I remember back then it would rather be like lots of engineers and only 2 pioneers, and I'm kind of surprised to see the other way around. I guess usually I would do that to get more map control early game, like capping more points, and yeah, maybe put some wars as he's doing. But I've not seen that in a long time. However, it's giving you a less firepower, like you don't have like another unit in tier 1 faster on the field, so if there's 2 riflemen who can meet only 1 voice grenadier of yours and a pioneer, you're most likely going to lose. So you need to be careful with that. You most likely have more maps, but you cannot take on a full engage too early.
Yeah, it's interesting, this 3 pioneer thing. I've only really seen Barton do it. I don't see that many other players do it, because I know he loves his wire. But I think it might work against him because we actually have a Jeep coming out second. Again, another point of contention, really. I mean, some people like using Jeeps. I know DevM fucking loves his Jeep. He's always using Jeeps.
Oh yeah, Jeep pushing galore everywhere when DevM's playing. I especially like his light vehicle micro, especially his Jeeps and his M8s.
Yeah, it's he really loves them. He seems to really incorporate them to his build orders, especially on longer. I mean, we saw him play Symbiosis in that tournament final, and he used that Jeep to great effect very early on.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Yeah, Jeep is one of those units. It's heavily dependent on your ability to use it correctly. It's not, I mean, if you just have the unit on the field, it's not that useful, but if you can macro correctly, it can have a huge impact on any battle, basically, pushing units and just drawing attention. That's always good.
Yeah, and we can see he's using it just to pick away at long range. I mean, what do you think about his unit placement here? I mean, it sort of feels almost a bit out of position, Barton here.
No, it's pretty good because he has the big house nearby to just provide lots of cover for his units, so it's kind of okay. If it was in open fields, definitely he would be in bad position, but since there's the building to help him, it's fine. It just basically gained time until the machine gun was there, and it allows him to, capitalize on, to not let the opponent capitalize on having more units on the field.
Yeah, true
at that time.
Yeah, especially using the buildings where the Jeep is out, it's a good strategy to use, considering you don't want to get pushed out of the heavy cover. You know, that's basically what the Jeep excels at, especially in the initial engagements versus with rifles, Volks, MGs, whatever the Wehrmacht player decides to build and the US player decides to build. The Jeep can really tip the favor in one of those engagements by pushing out all of the Wehrmacht units out of the heavy cover and then charge in with the rifles, not being fired at because the units are getting pushed at the moment.
Yeah, that's very true. It's also kind of prevent the machine gun to reset up correctly. I know for myself, I used to play very aggressive with machine gun, and the Jeep will prevent that, because Jeep pushing a machine gun, sometimes the machine gun will set up in some random position. And
yeah, that's what we saw when DevM played Symbiosis. And there's the fast nades, there's the quick nades after just 2 rifles there into the building.
Oh, that retreat path from machine gun is pretty risky. He could have tried to move it to the back, closer to not where the riflemen were standing.
And one's dodged.
Yeah, I guess the first nade surprise is over now with the MG in the building taking the first 2 casualties of the first grenade thrown by DevM. So the Volks are pretty easily microed away from the second grenade from the rifles from DevM. So Barton is doing quite okay, but we do see the Jeep pushing here.
Yeah, the Jeep is being a real pain for him. If he's not if he's focusing the Jeep, Rifleman doesn't die and it doesn't drain manpower because the Jeep is free to repair. But if he's not focusing the Jeep, it's just gonna push people around and kill them. So
yeah, I guess it's a strategic choice you need to make. Do you want to focus on the Jeep and maybe kill it without it getting away, or do you want to do the manpower damage, I guess?
Yeah, most of the time, I think I would focus the Jeep just because it's annoying and I don't like being annoyed, so yeah.
I guess it does screw with your mind a little bit, you know, having the Jeep come around in every engagement and start pushing your guys around. It's like, oh, get off my guys, what the hell are you doing? Get away!
Exactly. Especially when I'm playing with aggressive machine gun positioning, the Jeep is really a pain, so I'd just rather focus it. But here we see the Jeep is being focused and repaired at the same time.
And
so he's basically losing no resources.
Is it better, when it is being repaired, would it be better to just focus the engineers then?
Focus yeah, definitely, because they take a lot more damage. You're right.
So far, nice play from both players. Very early grenades from DevM really shut Barton's strong house tactic on the right side down pretty fast. He did garrison his MG there again, but he lost it for a little while, and you know, I'm not sure. Barton lost some ground, as you can see on the map. He's recapping most of it at the moment, but he also inflicted a lot of manpower damage on DevM. So, you know, to me, as not really the tactical analyzer of battles, I'm more of the guy that screams when stuff goes on the screen, and Tommy usually does the analysis for me. I'm not sure who's actually on top here.
I think Barton might be on top, just because reinforcing Volks is much cheaper than reinforcing the Rifleman, and DevM lost quite a lot of Riflemen in that previous battle, so I think Barton, considering he kept the fuel kinda all the time and he still has a pretty huge munition income, I think he's on top at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at DevM's manpower income, and he's a little bit stretched for manpower at the moment. But he does have now actually 4 rifles. He didn't stop at 3. He went all the way to 4 plus the Jeep. So a big tier 1 from him. Okay, only 2 engineers, but you know that's quite an expensive tier 1, and that's all without a triage as well.
Yeah, he should definitely consider it when he has so much infantry. I'm still looking at the units. And yeah, Wehrmacht is also going pretty huge tier 1. 3 Volks, machine gun, no snipers out. The 3
the
pioneers.
Jeep's going straight for the sniper there.
Yeah, the sniper did take out one of the rifles on the far right side there. So I guess DevM went for the Jeep instantly. Very nice micro from DevM's. Oh, I think we had a flamer pop just as they retreated the engineers. They were focused fired by the Volks, I think.
Yeah, I think
I've seen it. The flamers was burning the Volks before the retreat, so it didn't break right away.
This
we got some more Jeep pushing on the flamer pyos, trying to cap the munitions point in the center of the map. But MG opens up on it, takes a huge amount of damage. The flamers might finish it up. Here comes the grenade on the MG, the house. The MG actually vacates the house before the grenade lands. Very
How's that
nice.
Jeep not dead?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wondering the same thing. If a
Oh,
trailing
the
sniper-
Jeep-
Jeep really
die
needs to
now.
get out of dodge right now.
Surely.
Oh,
No?
the Volks misses. The accuracy on the move is so terrible. He can't get the finishing kill shot on the Jeep, and he actually managed to get out of dodge. Lucky break for DevM there.
Yeah, that's the problem of focusing the Jeep. If you don't kill it, then it's just free to repair in the base. So.
And you
Yeah.
wasted a lot of time where you could have inflicted manpower damage instead, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. Something I like to see there, DevM is actually capping in the left of the map with 3 main riflemen, and he realized he doesn't need to reinforce them to capture points, and so he's just doing it, and that's very nice sometimes to just send units, wounded units, to cap the map.
Especially when he's got so many rifles, I guess he can't afford to reinforce them all at once. So this sort
Yeah.
of spreads the cost a little bit. What do
Yeah,
you think of like his strategy at the moment? I mean, he got the triage and now he's getting a supply yard, so he's not going for bars apparently, even though he's seen quite a big tier 1. What would you have done in this circumstance?
I think seeing only one machine gun, I would go for maybe the bar upgrades, because Volks Grenadiers are weak against bars, snipers weak also. And there's basically only machine gun to stop bar riflemen at this point, so since it doesn't have much machine gun, that's a strong option to go bars.
Yeah. We got some MP40 Volks engaging some rifles here, but MP40s are doing a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, when
So
close range not moving, they completely destroy any infantry, so you gotta be careful
Yeah.
with that.
DevM's actually losing out a bit on the map control here. I mean, this is in part due to Longra being a good map there, but I think he was so aggressive early on. He sort of sacrificed sort of a lot of capping power for that, especially with only the 2 engineer start. And actually, we got the first supply yard upgrade coming in. So, what do you
Oh,
think of that?
that's-
So no M8.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. I mean, it doesn't have any pressure on the map because he has weak units. And if he's taking instead of getting stronger units, he's just gonna fall behind. If the Wehrmacht player somehow doesn't capitalize on that, then okay, maybe the income will be better, more veterancy. So if it goes to late game, it's gonna benefit DevM to have that upgrade that early. But in the short run, it's not gonna do any good.
Very aggressive MG placement from Barton in the forward house closer to the American base, pins the Flamer and the rifle squad, or at least suppresses the Flamer before he reaches the house. We'd had an attempt flank as well, but Barton saw it from the extended line of sight from the building MG, and he actually retreated MG before they even took a sliver of damage. I think they were barely undamaged.
I'm actually surprised by the amount of mines being put down by both players, which is almost 0. I'm wondering why they're not using more munitions to put into mines. It would
Yeah.
have easily stopped that flank. It could help, I mean, so much.
I mean, mines win games. That's what we've always.
Yeah.
It's always been drilled into us.
It seems
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Barton is actually really content at using his MP40 Volks as his main fighting force here. With 3 Volk starts, I guess MP40 is not a bad choice considering there's no bars on the field.
Yep, indeed. It's definitely a stronger force than anything the American player has at that point. Except maybe grenades. Like, the problem with MP40, you need to be close range, and at close range, grenades can very hurt you, so he needs to be careful. If he can dodge the grenades, then he's good.
He's really getting in close and personal with these rifles with these Volks. The supply yard upgrade early though might actually work in DevM's favor because Barton went pack first.
Double pack actually. He's got the
Oh,
second
yeah.
pack building now, some from tier 2. What do you think about that, Seb? Is that something that you usually consider doing when you don't see bars?
Yeah,
the
that's
rifleman.
something you should do when you don't see bars and expect fast vehicle. But I mean, if you don't have one pack when, for example, a fast M8 is out, then you're in trouble because you have no counter and the M8 can just kill the pack outside of the tier 2. But sometimes it's just solved by 1 or 2 mines, so I don't know, 2 packs when I don't see any vehicle seems a bit too much.
Oh, we do have a
He's
nice
really-
mine outside of the strong house that the MG just garrisoned, which actually detonated from the MG guys inside of the house. What? I don't think
What?
I've seen that before. Yeah, the MG gunner actually decided to use the window on the far right side of the house. You can see the MG sticking out of the window, and the mine was placed just outside of that door, and I guess the MG gunner was close enough to detonate the mine, because one of the guys of the MG crew actually died from garrisoning a house. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Funny.
That is like the sweeper thing we had with Siberian versus Pepsi, was it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where
that
he
was a weird,
swept mines with a
shit.
flamer.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Oh, nice grenade on these Volks in heavy cover. Barton does not see. It's actually micro units on the left side of the feet as well. It's double MP40 Volks in his flamers, forcing off one of the engineers on the far left side.
One thing about machine gun in buildings is you cannot control them and reposition them. That's one of the reasons I don't like putting machine gun in buildings. It was changed, like, I don't remember which patch, but at some patch it was changed and you could not... I mean, no, it was fast switching between targets before.
Yeah.
And then they made it, like, strange, like 3 seconds before changing windows. And
DevM really wants to kill this pack, but Barton nicely marked it away, and he didn't move in cloak. Another thing which obviously requires micro, but I think that you really should consider while moving your packs, especially under attack, uncloak and move. Don't move it with cloak on, because even if they are discovered and decloaked, they still move with decreased speed.
That's right.
Flamers on the left side might go down from Barton. He instantly retreats them when the rifles comes along, but he's very low health and he's actually going to get out of dodge. That was surprising.
That was kind of...
Yeah, actually he walked through like the trees and it's yellow cover around the trees, so maybe that's what saved him. If it was open field, he would have died.
So, not placing, as you consider placing MGs in houses is a little bit too risky for your playstyle. You usually place them in the open. Do you actually construct sandbags and wires to protect your MGs with your Volks?
Yeah, but you need to be careful with sandbags, because sandbags could always be turned against you in the flank. So I'm not sure. I usually put MG like randomly in the open to catch my opponent off guard, more than anything else.
That's something I've often been told actually about being too predictable with MG placement. Is it worth trading off cover for putting it in just a really strange place that you're still going to run into, but you won't expect?
I definitely think it is. If you can suppress the opponent from long range, if your MG is not in cover, it doesn't matter. It's never gonna hit you from long range suppressed. So yeah, I think it's definitely a good point.
So I know as a player myself, that's something I do quite a lot, and I've had my opponents comment on it. Is that way too predictable with the placement of the MGs? So I might have to start placing mine in sort of more random locations.
Yeah, if you have random location in cover, then it's ever better. But usually cover is not random; it's expected. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, TD out from DevM. I did not see this, but I guess with no tier 3 up, he saved up all his fuel after building the triage and the supply yard with the one upgrade, if he hasn't built a second one as well, to go for TD instantly. What do you think about fast TD play, Seb?
Well, I think it should be finished by the opponent by not going to packs when there's only infantry in the field. Like, if he went like for much more anti-infantry units earlier in the game, he could have closed that game by just completely pushing American out of the map, and then he would have never had the fuel to get actually any tank out of the tank depot. So I think if the opponent doesn't react to it, yeah, then it could work. But most of the time, you just fight with so weak units for so long that it's often hard to pull out.
Double support veterancy now out from Barton as well. Another, slightly weird choice, as you usually see, heavy infantry vetting if you go tier 2, for example, with, the strong Grens, highly vetted. It's a very formidable force. What do you think about Barton's choice going for double support web this early and only one vet stripe for his infantry?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, especially since he only has one machine gun.
And 2 Pyros, I think.
It's only for the 3 Pioneers, but I feel it's not enough. Maybe if he wants to transition into some kind of Pioneer spam, but that's more useful against bars than against tanks, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think he would have gotten more use out of it if he still had his sniper alive. And there's the bar pop.
Oh, nice. In the middle of engagement on the left side against the Volks.
Yeah, there's a
nice
grenade. That's going to force a retreat.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't lose any unit yet. Like, either he has a really good unit preservation or like got some random luck, but with grenades, especially with grenades, every time I play against grenades, there's some random grenade killing my whole squad. So.
That's American nuclear pineapples for you. That's what we call
Yeah.
them on this show.
So
Nuclear pineapples.
that's really good job on Vermeer. Oh, actually, he might have lost one Volks at some point. Oh no, he still has the tree. So yeah, really good unit preservation.
Here's
Here
a
comes
big
the full
flank.
charge from Dev M, charging down with his Sherman in the front. Oh, prop war for Barton, actually retreats the bar rifle and the sweeper pyos. The pack gets taken out. The first pack is decrewed. He's trying to combat repair his oh wow, Faust also goes off on the Sherman, which is down to a sliver of health, and with the main gun destroyed, he might be able to save it with his reverse micro. He's actually turning around.
Oh, that's really bad. But he should have moved the Volks up faster, so the second Faust will be in range. But since the Sherman turned around,
Here's the
he
Faust.
might be able to finish.
Oh, destroyed engine, it lives. At the same time, the MG is flanked just outside of Barton's base, actually gets decrewed completely and might get stolen by DevM here. A good victory for DevM, considering he almost lost his Sherman. It's still not out of dodge, and it actually gets Fausted in the rear, out of control while
finally.
repairing.
Yeah, Barton is actually floating a lot of resources, and if he had spent that manpower, he probably would not have lost that fight so badly. Like if he had like one more machine gun or something to prevent the massive flank.
I mean, is a second machine gun something you would do if you saw quite a late bar pop? Like
Yeah.
If, especially if you know that there's no weapon support center around.
As soon as I see bars, I usually just spam machine gun, like you need
Really?
at least 2 or 3 of them, and you just completely love the opponent. Otherwise you just get flanked and you lose, so yeah. Unless you have lots of mines, then that will make sense to not.
Yeah, I mean, you know, bulk sniper MG or something like that. Where you're just spamming the crap out of
you need
mines.
something to stop the bars, not direct fighting, like you don't fight against bars with Volks, you just suppress them or mine them or whatever. Or no.
DevM is actually trying to decrew the second pack now from Barton with his very weak two-man bar squad, but being... Wow, he actually forced off the Flamer Pyos and the MP40 Volks before. I guess it's a good thing to have the bars just pursuing this pack, forcing Barton to waste manpower and recruiting it.
Yeah, that's really good. And if he has another tank in the building, I'm not sure if he has, but if he does,
He does.
yeah,
He has
then
another Sherman
it's
building.
gonna be a big trouble for Burnham.
I think he's
Because
gonna
he doesn't
steal the
have any
pack here.
anti-tank.
Yep.
That's a big victory.
Is that something
That's
you also usually do, Seb? Do you rather steal the equipment or destroy it? Because you can obviously destroy the packs with the attack move on the weapon
I
itself.
steal it.
You
anytime.
always steal it, okay. You think
Unless
it's
I
worth the
don't have
manpower?
resources. Yeah, definitely it's one more unit for you. Like,
Ooh, bar suppression.
it's definitely good. And
That's
it's like
two for some of the bar
using
rifles.
suppression fire on the bars at the moment. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, he actually gets out of that little engagement with his Vet 2 bar rifles down to one man.
Yeah,
He tried to finish him off, but didn't manage to get the killing shot.
I think
Second
he tried
Sherman
to
out.
fight. He tried to fight for as long as possible, so he could give time to the back units to finish capturing the munition point. And it seems it will succeed.
And he's actually dropping artillery down on the decrewed pack. He really wants to destroy it.
Oh, and he also protects his munitions points that he has captured, forcing the Grens actually to retreat as well. And he might get the pack destroyed. It's down to 50% health already from the Sherman firing at it. The second Sherman now forcing off some MP40 Volks on the left side is gonna enable him to recapture the lost territory on the left side. But, you know, considering the match has already gone on for 20 minutes, the map is basically 50-50.
It's an even game, yeah, quite so far. Although Barton did lose quite a lot just there. I mean, he lost a full pack and took quite a bit of manpower damage. But he's actually got his tier 4 up.
Yeah, he also lost a machine gun that DevM captured.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a big
which
loss.
is a
Actually.
pretty big deal since he lost the
Would
sniper.
you remake that normally, almost instantly, if you lost all your MGs and you were facing bars?
Yeah, well, you kinda, yeah, I would remake the machine gun, but I don't know. It seems like at some point, if you just lose one and remake one, you're gonna lose it again. It's like you need 2 in the first place to actually not lose the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
So your instant reaction to bars is basically build a second or third MG. Depending on what you build first.
Unless you're really close to another counters to bars like a Puma or a tank. Or
Or
definitely
lost
get
wind, I guess.
either more machine gun or maybe another sniper or at least something to stop them.
There was a nice use of prop war there to force off some bar rifles, but there's even more coming in now, supported by sweepers. Now P4 and Sherman.
Yeah, and here we badly see the lack of machine gun. Like, the infantry of American player can just do whatever it pleases.
Oh, the pack actually bounces on the frontal armor. The P4 is actually forced away from the repositioning, say, the stolen pack from DVM. And the pack is decrewed and might get destroyed now by the Sherman or stolen once again. Oh yeah, DVM now is in possession of an MG and 2 packs stolen. Would you just basically throw in the towel here, Seb? Or would you keep on fighting?
I always keep on fighting, but especially if you're going King Tiger, I mean Terror and left side 3.
Yeah, he has 4 CPs.
I definitely fight at least until the King Tiger, but it's really not looking good. Some people could just leave at that point. It's it's so hard, especially since American players start to stacking nice veterancy.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's getting himself. He's got now 2 Vet 2 rifles, a Vet 1 rifle, which is soon going to be Vet 2, with 12 kills and another.
Is that a new
Vet-
one? The veterancy 0 rifleman? I was going to say kept all of his units alive, but I'm
Got
surprised
2
to see a
kills
correct
on
one
it,
since
so
was
I'm not
good,
sure.
It might
Yeah, I
have
don't
been
know.
a new
It could be a new one. I haven't noticed him lose any rifles, but he could have done.
I've not seen any rifles die completely. He's been down to 1-man retreat, very narrow retreats, but he's managed to survive most of them. Nice grenade forcing the Grens out of cover on the left side here. VP is getting captured and the Ostwind is actually out now, which is, I guess, a good counter for these bar rifles.
Yeah, but it's not good counter against Tank Depot. Like, if you just send one M10 following that Ostwind, it's not gonna do much.
Yeah, and especially with the 2 stolen packs, I guess the Ostwind has his work cut out for him. You know, the packs are actually pretty decent against the Ostwinds, even without the cloak bonus. Oh, we actually
Yeah,
Well,
they
the
can
first shot.
penetrate every time.
Yeah.
The Ostwind still has the mobility though, so it can easily prevent American from capping the side of the map with just that Ostwind. And yeah, the best answer to that is to send a tank chasing the Ostwind.
Which is exactly what Devim is doing, is sending his Sherman over to the left flank to handle this Ostwind so his rifles can keep regaining the lost territory on the left side. He's also attempting to go for the cutoffs. What are your opinions on cutoff play generally, Seb? Is it something you just have to do every game you play, or is it something depending on what happens in the matches?
Early game it's really important for like preventing resources. Late game it's much more useful to reduce the population cap if the opponent is close to the actual cap. Because late game often you have like so much fuel, it doesn't really matter to be cut off from your fuel point.
Oh, I just saw
Munitions
something
always
very
important though.
I saw something very interesting. He managed to decrew the pack with his MP40 Volks and then actually forced retreated the rifles that were in place. Was that to protect the pack from being recaptured maybe, or was it just
I
to
think it
protect
was
the
to
retreat
protect them
of
on
the
retreat.
Volks?
Yeah, I think it was to protect them on retreat. But also it allows the Ostwind
That
free
was
reign.
kind of not a good timing though. He could have capitalized on, I mean, decrewing the pack to group his tank together and maybe overrun the second pack or something like that.
Now he's very out of place on the left-hand side here, Barton. He's got an M10 and a Sherman versus single P4. He's got no support nearby. That P4 is going to go down.
Yeah, he can't afford Shrek since he's used prop war.
Yeah, that's a problem. American at this point has so much combined arms, and Wehrmacht is like keeping losing units over and over, so it really doesn't look good.
That's a nice block.
And he finally got the King Tiger, but I feel it's a bit late. He almost lost all of his infantry. He doesn't have any machine gun left, any pack left.
He's lost the Sweeper Pio and 1 Flamer Pio. He's lost one of the snipers, which is actually rebuilt. He's lost one of his Volks, and he's also lost all of his support weapons as well.
Yeah, and he lost most of the map.
Is it
too.
basically too little, too late for this King Tiger to make a spectacular comeback in this game, or is it still possible?
It's always possible, but I mean, when American has so much combined arms and veterancy and all that stuff, it really takes a lot of effort to actually come back. Like, he needs to make something happen, just not follow the flow of the game, because the normal flow of the game would be American player winning, so he needs something to happen. And rushing close range, bar with Volks is not going to happen. You cannot close the gap like that when they're focus firing you already.
I also wanted to ask you about combat fatigue. You know, if you play too many matches in one evening and you start getting tired, or you start noticing that you're lacking in micro, is that just basically the point where you should like just go to bed already?
8 p.m. maybe.
Do you
It
get
happens,
combat
but
fatigue?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
is it usual in
That's
tournaments
true.
and just playing for too long in one night? Maybe you should just let it go for a while.
Yeah, that definitely happens. Even sometimes it's not about just one evening, but like you're playing the whole week and you wanna do something else. Even
know
if
that
you
feeling.
play like 2 games in a
I
day.
got some
which-
weirdo glitch with one of the kills. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, that was hysterically
That
funny.
Axis sniper is so close to getting squished.
I probably lost the track at this point.
He might get.
Oh, there
he
it
does force
the
a
retreat.
though.
Very nice retreat though. That was just in the sliver of time. He actually managed to get out of dodge. Here comes the King Tiger to greet the Sherman, which does not really have much to put up against the
my
King
God,
Tiger.
that-
But
Well,
it is
the King
completely
Tigers-
unsupported.
Yeah, he's unsupported.
So
As
how do
soon
you
as
use your
Rifleman getting punch.
how do you use your King Tiger if you go terror? Do you use it as basically a massive block that like this is my
Yeah, it
territory? I'm now gonna
It
control
depends.
this middle VP, or do you use it very aggressively?
I've seen both working. If you can use it aggressively to a point, it prevents the opponent from reacting somewhere else on the map, then okay, it's good. But if you just use it aggressively and take a lot of free damage and doesn't use that to cap somewhere else on the map or something, then it's probably not worth it.
I do believe an engineer went
So it-
down to some MP40 volts on the left. King Tiger now taking some damage from the pack. He's trying to kill it.
It's kind of just taking free damage there, it's not good. It's not capitalizing on having the attention focused there by doing something else like capping
this
in the
an-
middle. for
I
example.
think it's an attempt from DevM to do a little bit of a block. Do you think it's wise to do, you know, M10 blocks where it's quite certain that it might die?
Well, I'm surprised. It's definitely worth it to lose M10 to kill the King Tiger, but I'm not even sure if he'll manage to kill it. That's the issue. Because
The sniper's gonna whittle him down before he can get too many stickies
Yeah.
off, but he does manage to
There's
get
two
another
more.
2 off though. He might
yeah, no,
immobilize.
that's
Oh.
It is immobilized.
Oh, yeah,
and
but
off-map
that's
artillery down on top of it as well.
Barton is aware
sorry.
though, retreating his Flamer Pyos.
that doesn't seem like a very good trade, but maybe if
That's a
he
lot of
finish
munition
it,
spent
why
into
not?
killing
But
that
it's a lot of
KT.
munition. He lost a lot of manpower. He lost the M10. He dropped a bar in the retreat, so that's lots of lost stuff for not killing it at the end.
King Tiger almost goes down though from the artillery. It's down to a sliver of health. M10 crush on the left side attempted, but nice retreat from Barton.
Would
Yeah,
you say
now
that the thing that
Bar on
Barnes
the
was
grand side
most-
of the strong building.
Yeah, just beaten up on.
I think Devem get that machine gun since like 20 minutes into that building.
Yeah, he hasn't really been microing the machine gun, but he's been doing. I mean, I think what Barton's missing most is an MG of his own. Since he lost it, those rifles
Yeah.
have just been running around. and-
As I said earlier, only one machine gun against 4 riflemen. It's not really gonna do the trick, especially against artillery. You can just drop any random artillery in the machine gun and it's out. So
Here comes the second
It's-
M10 from DevM now trying to polish off this King Tiger. It was repaired by 3 Pyos. He went up to 15-20% health yet again. But he's doing some nice microing here, forcing the slow turret of the King Tiger constantly reposition.
oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
he gets
really
2
nice
shots
play.
off on it though.
Since the King Tiger is immobilized, it's very hard for him to keep track of the M10 to kill it. But I'm
lives,
surprised DevM didn't send the M10 like as soon as he threw the artillery earlier. Like he should have sent the M10 even from the other side of the map, instead of sending it like so late.
Yeah, he's still not moving out the packs to actually come and finish it off.
Yeah.
There's a nice prop wall.
Nice prop for
Well, he's spending so much resources, both just to keep that King Tiger alive and the other one to kill it. That I think Devem is winning the trade at the end because he has the 2 victory points and he just has overall more map. So the attention of Wehrmacht players is more detrimental being focused on the King Tiger than the Americans' attention, since American player doesn't really have anything else to do.
Yeah, Barton's just. I mean, he's got no map now. He's got no fuel, 1 VP. he's in a very bad position, and like you said, he needed to do something spectacular, and that hasn't happened. And he's just left with virtually no units because he just can't afford anything when you call on that KT. Once your manpower drops to sort of plus 150, you just can't afford to...
He's getting a pack now, but he could just get overrun or again just throw artillery on it and end it.
MP40s. I wonder if MP40s will eventually penetrate the M10. Like, if you give it enough time. I mean, it's a fucking
There's a
open top
possibility.
tank. Just shoot the dudes manning the tank.
Shoot the guys in the turret. They can't really auto or fire anymore. They can just drive around all over the map. But it's a possibility. Bikes can penetrate rear armor on Pershings, so MP40s might be able to penetrate the rear armor on an M10. Probably not going to happen on the frontal armor though, which it is firing at.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised about the M10. He could have just microed the M10 to crush the building and kill all the.
Oh, there's BET3 and there's a grenade on the repairing. What? It instantly detonated because it went out of the map border? Was that why?
Oh wow, that must be why.
There's no timers outside. Oh wow, I've never seen that again either.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Then again, I've never seen people repair King Tigers on the map border either, so I guess that's why.
DevM is really focusing way too much on that King Tiger at this point. He could have just kept the last victory point and finished the game. He actually focused so much on that King Tiger that he lost the M10 on the left to a pack and proceeded to kill the pack afterwards, but he still lost the M10.
He has managed to get himself a VET3 30 kill rifle though, which is quite he's now saving up
really
from
good.
CG, which he's going to use to finish it off.
And off-map combat troop he's gonna deliver him some form of AT, which is most likely gonna be enough to take out the King Tiger with the combined arms of his Sherman, maybe rebuild an M10 and his stolen packs.
Although it does depend how far he repairs the KT. I mean, he's got to back up for 50%
yeah, it's
already.
Useless there. Yeah, but it's useless there in that corner, so...
So you think DevM is focusing a little bit too much on the King Tiger kill?
Yeah,
he should probably just have capitalized on the VPs instead. I
think he could have kept the last victory point and that left side of the map. Maybe have throw back and tank in the base of Barton and start to kill the base.
He's now getting the second supply out upgrade.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he has the fuel, it's definitely... Since he's gonna probably not build any tank on the tank depot but just use off-map, it's definitely good to spend the resources on supply yard upgrades.
Barton is investing a lot of equipment upgrades for his units, not for his Grens, no Shreks or LMGs, not that you see LMGs very usually, but MP40s and especially Flamers, so many Flamer bios.
I think he should use much more mines. I've not seen him put enough mines in this game, especially on this map. On every map it's good. It's just so cost effective. Like, if you use Propaganda War only one squad, it's 100 munition. And you could almost achieve the same goal with just one mine, which is 4 times less.
So basically use mines for the most of your munition income and then, prop war when it actually matters. Not on one squad, it's not going to be worth it. It's better to have spammed 4 mines then.
Exactly. If you have time to set up the mines and you set them up at the right position, it's much more effective than Propaganda, especially since Propaganda doesn't ever do any damage.
Yeah, I think it was Seth who said at one point that he would rather, whenever he has 25 munitions, there is nothing he would have that is, better than a mine.
Better than mine, indeed. There's not. Unless you badly need, one upgrade, one flamethrower is good, or one minesweeper, or if you need one Shrek, okay, you just upgrade it. But...
Yeah, obviously minesweeper is a good choice, especially if your opponent thinks like you, or Seth, or, that really thinks that mines is the way to go.
Yeah, in this game it's not really a good investment because they both don't use any mine, but in general it's a really good investment.
Yeah, I guess DevM has used most of his munitions on off-maps and stickies on that King Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the stickies. Panther out now for Barton.
That was really bad King Tiger micro. I'm surprised it didn't get slowed by the sticky.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky.
On the rear armor as well.
Panther's out, so maybe Barton's got a way back into this. Maybe. I mean, he's got very few of anything, but he's with a Panther.
I think he needs some form of more hard-hitting anti-infantry units. I'm not sure. Austrians with the
Snipers.
backup of
Yeah.
King Tiger or snipers, yeah. To kill the Vet3 rifles, because you can't just fight them with MP40 Volks or Gwens, because against Vet3 rifles, as everybody knows, they turn into Terminators with exoskeletons of metal and Kevlar armor, killing everything.
I'm
Yes,
also
yeah.
surprised. I've not seen any medic bunker being built. I'm not sure if it changed in the meta, because I've not been playing in quite a bit, but I'm really surprised.
There's still
Because I
heavy
remember-
tier 2 play with medic bunkers. And
I remember
usually
back then
grenades.
everyone
yeah.
gets the medics.
People are using them less nowadays. I think it's just people are using defensive a bit less, so a lot of people are getting half tracks for infield reinforcement.
Yeah, but still not providing like free grenadiers.
No, that's true.
I'm
that's
sure
true.
if you got one bunker in the back.
Oh,
it's
long
better
range
than
Vet3
the
stick on
result.
this Panther. Sorry,
Oh
but
my-
that is some tremendous damage from Vet3 rifles.
That was
Wow,
exceptional damage. And now it's double M10s, no support for that KT whatsoever. You can just be circle strafed to the high heavens.
Yeah,
Barton
that's
is doing
exactly
some
the
nice
same.
micro attempts with his King Tiger, using the chassis to turn around to rotate his turret faster.
He actually blocked the M10, the first one.
Yeah, but here
With
comes
the
the
KT.
rifles. Rifle's gonna be able to get a sticky off since the King Tiger is forced
Oh,
to
no.
micro. Oh, whoa! A whole
wow.
squad runs into the front of the King Tiger because it's
Yeah.
funny. America! Fuck
Wait, it's
yeah!
not true. Oh, finally, yes. I didn't have the munition for the sticky actually, that's why.
Ah, Vet3 rifle sticky doesn't even manage to kill the King Tiger, considering it has such a high natural HP.
Yeah.
Come on,
At,
Vetri
at
rifles
least
versus
this
full
time,
rifles.
it's not spending all of his resources on the King Tiger. He's actually capping the map on the right, capping the center victory point. So that's good. Oh, he might lose the veteran C3.
Ah, I
He's
think
okay.
he's okay. It's Vet3 after all.
He's just got a continuous stream of rifles going to the front, and these MP40 Volks do not stand a chance.
Oh god,
in
another
hell.
Vet3 squad comes out fully reinforced and heal up, combined with another Vet2 bar rifle and an immobilized King Tiger, desperately trying to repair from the Flamer Pyos. It's just not going to be enough. Here comes the rifle wave.
I need
Everywhere.
just the sniper. I didn't ever see the sniper dying again.
Yeah, no, I saw that go down. It was one burst from Event 3 rifle.
Ah, yeah, that's what happens, usually. You take a look on the engagement on the right side, Will, and I'll put that in the...
Yep.
Here's another sticky on a very low health damage Tiger.
Oh, I'm
It
su-
might
I'm
finish it
surprised
off.
he used-
There it goes! Instant vet 3 for the unvetted rifles, which only had one kill, one infantry kill before that King Tiger kill.
That's really strange what he did. I would have expected the King Tiger to not die from that sticky actually. And I was wondering why he didn't throw the sticky from the vet emergency 3 since it would do more damage, but it seems like it didn't enough.
Yeah, I guess a normal sticky was enough from vet 0 rifle.
That's crazy to go to Vet 3 from nothing. He only just got
Yeah.
that rifle.
Yeah, I just saw that, the veterancy pop up on my screen. Like 1, 2, 3, done. Fully
All these
vetted, there you
rifles have
go.
such insane kills in veterancy.
There's still that machine gun.
Yeah, he-
Hasn't
Barton actually
moved it.
tried-
He has not even reinforced it.
Nope, Barton tried to flame it out, but before the MG he didn't manage to kill it before the MG reposition and started firing on his flamer pyos, forcing him to retreat. It did some nice damage. It's down to like 15% health with 2 men only, but it's still alive. But DVM, you know, considering you can't lose the weapon to the enemy when you're in a building, I guess, you know, he doesn't really need the MG. He's just denying it from Barton.
Well, maybe he could have just go to the trial center and
He just
heal it up. and-
guard the middle VP.
There we go, MP40 volts.
MP40 volt charge against some unvetted
Yeah.
engineers
He should
on
stop
negative
moving
cover.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they were going, but they're dead now. They're dead now. Both of the packs opening up on the
No,
Panther
he's,
now.
he's moving the valves, that's really bad. He should never be moving with MP40. Like, it's doing no damage when you move.
Oh my god, those MP40 volts are so toast.
Oh, there's so many vetted
So
rifles
many.
from DevM right now. 3 vet,
What
3
the fuck?
rifles. Basically killing everything that Barton has in his possession. Dren's vet 1, no chance in hell. Flamer Pyos, vet 2, no chance. The Panther can't even kill them fast enough before getting the threat of getting sticky to death.
It's just insane. Like, there's nothing that counters this. There's nothing in the VR Arsenal that counters this. PE, yeah, you know, like Vet 3 MP44s or something like that. But from
G43
there,
is a triple
fucking
offensive vet, maybe. I'm not sure how much damage they do against Vet 3 rifles. I guess an Ostwind is a decent soft counter, but against Vet 3 they
way.
just,
Let's look at the
they just
damage.
don't
do
do the
That's
damage.
Do.
Two
Look at the
stickies.
stickies, yeah. Oh my
the fuck?
god, 2 stickies kills a full health Ostwind. That
Seriously?
is seriously retarded. Oh god.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
there's the GG from Barton, and I think no less of him from that for that GG, because that was completely over. I've never
No,
seen
this-
anything been so over. 3 Vet 3 rifles, it's just like I would have left like 20 years ago.
This game had a lot of firsts for us, didn't it? We've seen a lot of
Two.
things that we've never seen before.
Mine detonating from garrison building, and off map border hand grenade instantly detonating.
2 stickies killing an Osmond.
And 2 stickies
From
killing
hell.
Ostwind,
Yeah.
yeah, 2 stickies. It was 2 stickies, it wasn't 3, it wasn't 4, it was 2 stickies. I guess you never see, seeing double Vet 3 rifles is basically a complete massacre match in that case. But 3,
Yeah, especially since it doesn't have any veterancy on his tanks. Like, as soon as I get one, I usually say that's my rule. As soon as I get one tank, I will get the veterancy one.
And
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
you reckon it's
so
worth it for
cost
that?
effective. So
Yeah. Would you do the same for light vehicles if you just got one premium?
maybe I would wait 2 of them.
Yeah, because
but-
obviously you got to build the Campcraft Center as well, which is another
Yeah.
100 manpower.
But for tanks, really just one is already like a good investment.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I thought that was awesome. Having you here, Seb. It was great to hear another insight, and actually that was really informative. Not just hopefully for the viewers at home, but also for me as well, for my own play. I mean, stuff with the MGs and yeah. I mean,
Maybe I could conclude with like general
Yeah.
overview of the game.
yeah. What did you?
I
What
think
closing
the
words.
turning point was the transition after the early game for the Wehrmacht. Like, he fought against Vanilla Riflemen for the most part, like during like maybe 10 minutes, and he just got anti-tank and stuff like that to fight only infantry. And I think if he just went into heavy infantry after the tier 1, he could have just completely pushed out American out of the map and prevent him from getting anything out of the tank depot. I think
Do-
that was really what set up the game.
So, if a Ver player did find himself in a fairly strong position after tier 1, you'd just invest pretty heavily if you saw fast nades and then a triage.
For the American, you mean?
Well, for the Ver,
yeah.
I mean, would you just, I mean, because he did get double packs, which did eventually pay off, because we did
Yeah,
see
but
eventually.
it was too late.
Oh,
It was too late. He should have gotten much more anti-infantry at that point
okay.
and kill the American and prevent actually the American to get enough fuel for any tank. Like, if you prevent the fuel, you don't even need any pack in the first place. So
That's
yeah,
true.
I would have done like maybe the tier 2 was okay, but then getting half track, maybe getting grunts, maybe getting one more machine gun or snipers. I don't know, but just not spamming pack. I guess he was expecting a fast mate instead of tank depot, but then he could have just like went into the American base and like have a look there with a bike or if just sending some infantry, just to have a general idea of what's happening in there. Especially also the supply yard was pretty much in the front of the base, so he could have seen that was an early upgrade, and he could have like guessed from that American would not have fuel for fast M8 since he upgraded the supply yard that early in the game. That's the thing he could have seen if he just actually put work into.
That's very true. Very true indeed. Well, any closing words, Fatal?
No, not really. It's extremely exciting match, I must say. Extremely good play from both players, and as Seb said, the turning point was quite obvious. And after the veterancy started rolling in, it's just basically, you just can't stop it. It's just an ongoing slaughter fest after that.
Yeah. Well, that was actually quite inspirational for me. I want to go back and play some more auto match myself. So thank you guys all for watching. Hope you guys liked, and leave some comments what you thought, and hopefully we'll make this into a proper continuous series of expert insight. So this is the Frontline Network signing off.
See you guys.
See you.